And we're live.
Namo Amida Butsu, Namo Amida Butsu, Namanda, 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 Namanda.
Good morning. Today is October 2nd, 2022. We welcome you to New York Buddhist Church's monthly live streaming Shotsuki Hoyo service broadcast on Facebook and YouTube. We will start today's service with quiet sitting. Please sit up straight, gently calm your mind, and follow your breath.
Namo Amida Butsu, Namo Amida Butsu, Namo Amida Butsu, Namo Amida Butsu, Namanda Butsu, Namanda Butsu, Namanda Butsu, Namanda Butsu, Namanda Butsu, Namanda Butsu.
We will begin with Sambujo, 3 respectful callings, followed by Hyobyakumon. dedication, and then the reading of the October Shotsuki Hoyo names. Today's chant is SAM-BUTSU-GE, Bodhisattva Dharma-KARA'S verses in praise of Buddha LOKEŞVARA-RājA, Tam Nembutsu, and Ekoku Mere Transference. Following chant is Vandana Tisarana, then a reading by Lady Kusho Takeko. We will have a special Dharma message delivered by Reverend Todd Tsuchiya. We will then end service by singing Seiya on page 226 and Nembutsu together. NAMU, AMIDA BUTSU.
Sambujo is found on page 24 of your service book. respectfully call upon Tathagata Shakyamuni to enter this dojo as we joyfully scatter flowers of welcome. We respectfully call upon the Tathagatas of the 10 directions to enter this dojo as we joyfully scatter flowers of welcome. Namo Amida Butsu, Namo Amida Butsu, Namo Amida Butsu, Namo Da, Namo Da, Namo Da. Good morning, everyone. Welcome to the October Shotsuki Hoyo service. Today we come together at the New York Buddhist Church in the presence of Amida Tathagata, the embodiment of wisdom and compassion, to observe Shotsuki Hoyo. The Nembutsu teaching was transmitted through the revered seven masters to Shinran, who clarified and shared the meaning of chanting the sacred name. We now acknowledge our indebtedness and gratitude to him, to the seven masters, and all of those who have gone before us to the Pure Land, so that we are now joined together in Onenbutsu. Namo Amida Butsu, Namo Amida Butsu, Namo Amida Butsu. These are the names I have for October 22, Shotsuki Hoyo. Amioka Masako, Araki Genichi, Bakrushin Dmitri, Davidson Charles, Davidson Ignatius, Davidson Inez, Davidson Stan, Hino Hironobu, Horita Hisako, Rubant Frank, Ishida George Guntaro, Ito Eddie M, Ito Haruo, Iwasaki Yasuko, Kamano Yuki, Kichi Haru, Kusama Junko, Latch Olivia, Matsuda Yone, Matsumoto Kinichi, Mishima Michiko, Mitsuchi Kuma, Muni Aiko, Motuka Mark, Nagahiro James, Nakamura Mayumi, Nishimura George Guntaro, Noguchi Yoshi, Okajima Robert Eiichi, Okubo Tome, Sakyoka Jack, Schrader Lydia, Shirakigawa Tonami, Takayama Makoto, Takizawa Yoshiaki, Tamura, Tashiro Shigetsu, Tono Hari Yoshiaki, Tsuji Dorothy, Wise Blanche, Wise Lotus, Yashiro Masoto, Yasuda Kentaro, Yoshikami Mitsuye. Grateful are we for the presence of these in our lives, and grateful that they continue to look over us from the Pure Land. Namo Amida Butsu, Namo Amida Butsu, Namo Amida Butsu. Chant SAM-BUTSU-GE is on page 79 of your service books.
Kansho
Goja Shobutsu Sekai Bufu Kage Mushu Setsudo Komyo Shisho Henshi Shokok Nyoze Shojin Ijin Nanyo Ryoga Sabutsu Kokudo Daiichi Goshu Kimyo Dojo Chozetsu Kokunyo Naion Nimutoso Gato Aimin Dodatsu Isai Jipporaisho Shinetsu Shoujo Ito Gakoku Keilaku Anon Kobutsu Shinmyo Zeiga Shinsho Hotsuga no Hi Rikisho Shoyo Chiposeson Chiemuge Joryoshi-son Chiga-shingyo Keryo-shinshi Shoku-dokuchu Gagyo-shojin Namo Amida Butsu. Namo Amida Butsu. Namo Amida Butsu. Namo Amida Butsu. Namo Butsu. Namo Butsu. Namo Butsu. Everyone please rise for the Vandana Tisarana. You will find it on your service books on page 167. Namo tassa bhagavato arahato samam sambuddhassa. Homage to him, the exalted one, the enlightened one, the supremely awakened one. Buddham saranam gacchami. Buddham saranam gacchami. Dhammam saranam gacchami. Dhammam saranam gacchami. Sangham saranam gacchami. Sangham saranam gacchami. I go to the Buddha for guidance. I go to the Buddha for guidance. I go to the Dharma for guidance. I go to the Dharma for guidance. I go to the Sangha for guidance. I go to the Sangha for guidance. Namo Kye Butsu. Namo Kye Butsu. Namo Kye Ho. Namo Kye Ho. Namo Kye So. Namo Kye So. Namo Amida Butsu. 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 Please be seated. Today's reading is a poem written by the lady Takeko Kujo, who is the youngest daughter of the abbot Myonyo, Otani Kosho. He was the 21st abbot of the Kyoto Nishi Honganji, the Honpa Honganji. She, together with her sister-in-law, Kazuko, founded the Buddhist Women's Association, which spread throughout Japan and also here in North America. She also founded the Kyoto Women's College and Ashoka Hospital in Tokyo. She engaged in much social welfare work. She was also a respected, renowned poet. And one of the most famous poems being Seiya, or Peaceful Night. We'll sing it later as our Gatha on page 226. But here's one translation. Splendor of an evening sky, who can ever fathom its timeless mystery? Million eyes, when sparkling bright in the sable sky, touch my heart, my lonely heart, with serenity. More than the countless sands the Ganges River holds are the infinite Buddhas who fill this universe, ever watchful over us throughout day and night. Hearing this, my lonely heart fills with lasting peace. In 1928, Lady Kujo passed away at the age of 41, 42. Her memorial day in Japan, February 7th, is called the Kisaragi, and it's celebrated yearly at Nishi Honganji in Japan. She's interred at the Tsukiji Honganji in Kyoto. And if you'd like to read more, her book is called Leaves of My Heart, and it was published by the American Buddhist American Buddhist Study Center, ABSC. And it's available for purchase from them. So you can go online and ask Hoshina Seki to send that to you. So we are now honored today to have a talk from Reverend Todd Tsuchiya. We look forward to welcoming Reverend Todd to our temple. But until then, we will be watching a recording which he did for us. He is a minister's assistant with the Twin Cities Buddhist Sangha in Minneapolis and also the Midwest Buddhist Temple in Chicago. He's a lifelong member of Twin Cities Sangha, but he's now living in Chicago. After retiring from a career in dentistry, he completed his Master of Divinity degree at the Institute of Buddhist Studies, and he just completed his Tokudo and now Kyoshi training in Berkeley at the Jodo Shinshu Center, with the first group to do so outside of Japan. He's married to Connie, and they have an adult son, Kyle, along with two cats, Mochi and Bodhi. So, as you know, I'm a cat lover too. Maybe it's something ministers share in common. Anyway, I'm very, very pleased that we have the opportunity to listen to Reverend Todd Tsuchiya today.
Thank you, New York Buddhist Church, for inviting me to be a part of your Shotsuki service, your monthly memorial service today. Unfortunately, I'm pre-recorded and not in person, but I'm grateful to be with you, as I know many of you through the years from many different experiences. I'm originally from Minneapolis, Minnesota, in the Twin Cities Sangha, but I'm speaking to you today from the Midwest Buddhist Temple here in Chicago. And I know many of you through our Eastern District Council, the EDC, and Eastern Buddhist League conferences, the EBL. And the EDC and EBL have always been very generous to include our small Twin Cities Sangha in its activities. And of course, I've come to know Gary, Isabel, and Cheryl senseis through the many classes we all attend. I was also a 30-year taiko player with Kogen Taiko in Minneapolis, and we were greatly influenced, as were all taiko groups, greatly influenced by Sodaiko. And in fact, the first taiko performance I saw in person was in the early 1980s in Minneapolis at the opening of Tokyo Form and Spirit at the Walker Art Museum. And of course, the featured entertainment was Sodaiko. And I still remember my jaw dropping when Teddy Yoshikami did her very famous cartwheel during Matsuri Daiko. And I remember watching Meryl and Alan Okada in awe amongst the many talented members in those early days. And I've always enjoyed visiting your temple, as it's so moving to see the Shinran statue by your front entrance and feel its historical significance when I'm in its presence. And I also can feel the history of the temple itself and its founding members, beginning with Reverend Seki, who made it possible for us to encounter the Dharma. So with that thought, I would like to begin my talk by reading a passage by Reverend Seki from his book, the natural way, the great natural way. Let me just share my screen. Please join me in Gassho. In this world, it is very difficult to be selfless, but when we truly understand the teaching of the Buddha, then we recognize the truth of Shinran Shoni's statement that all sentient beings are my father and mother. Let us see why this is so. When we meditate on the true nature of the universe and every sentient being, we will realize, as Gautama Buddha said, that all life is oneness. Oneness is all. So we cannot live alone. And when we pass away from this world, we enter into infinite life and light. This life and light is not discriminated. It is not my own life and light. It belongs to all sentient beings. Reverend Hozen Seki from the Great Natural Way. Namandabts, namandabts, namandabts. So I wanted to read this particular passage by your founding minister, Reverend Seki, as I think it speaks about those friends and family who have crossed to the other shore in the month of October. And it captures how we can think about our relationship with our loved ones in our Sangha. Through the pandemic, we've gone so long from gathering together at the temple, and I know you've been back in person and providing hybrid access to your services. And I'm now mostly in Chicago at the Midwest Buddhist Temple, and being back in the temple, I'm reminded of what it means to be a Sangha. So to be in oneness, as Reverend Seki said. So when we gather, we sit together in the Gejin as fellow travelers, as equals, all together facing the Onaijin where the AMIDA Buddha Gohonzon is, and where Reverends Gary, Isabel, and Cheryl senseis lead us in chanting the sutras. The Gejin represents the human realm where we all live. And as we all sit together in the Gejin, it's important to know we're all together living in this realm of delusion. We all look toward the Buddha together, and we are welcome just as we are. Now, although we're each unique, we all receive the same Buddha Dharma without discrimination from AMIDA Buddha that is working to embrace each of us. So when we're together in the Gejin, we are with people of the past, the present, and the future. So being together for this service reminds us of the great web of life, that our lives are made possible by countless causes and conditions that we should be grateful for. Yet, we are also reminded that we have a responsibility to create a meaningful life for future generations, that we are links between the past and the future. Now, the pandemic created a significant shift in our thinking and in our lives. The illness and death of so many, the isolation from our family and friends, the tension between individual freedom and understanding the need for one another. Hopefully this, as a result of this period of really hyper-focused self-reflection, we've grown in our understanding of our own biases and how we understand the world. But it is through it all, through this difficult process of looking inward, that we see AMIDA's great compassion. Now, Shinran Shoni reminds us in the Shoshinge that the light of compassion that grasps us illumines and protects us always. If there is somewhere light does not reach, the hindrance or obstruction is due to us. The sun shines universally on all of us, even if the clouds and mists of greed and desire, anger and hatred cover as always the sky of true and real Shinjin. So being in the temple once again, we feel a sense of support from the power of others. Yet the struggles of this past year do not go away. Social inequity, racial injustice, the continued expression of human blind passions, they continue on. So the awareness given to me by the support of the light of AMIDA helps me to see my blind passions. AMIDA Buddha, as infinite wisdom unfolding as compassion, is the understanding that I am not alone. It also helps me to think of AMIDA Buddha not as an object, but as activity. It is Buddha activity that helps to give me clarity in my life. AMIDA is much more than the representation in the statue that we see on the Naijin. Our understanding of other power of Namo Amida Butsu opens up a gateway to the Dharma. And this is what Joro Shinshu is all about. This is AMIDA represented in the vow that never abandons us. During your Shotsuki service this month, it's a time that we remember and honor those who have laid a foundation for us. This foundation not only includes the physical structures that allow us to gather, like your beautiful temple, and most importantly, giving us the opportunity to hear the Dharma. Let me just share my screen once again. Now, our founder, Shinran Shonin, starts his major work, the Kyogyo Shinsho. It's a passage that speaks to our relationship to our ancestors. In this particular passage, he says, reverently contemplating the true essence of the Pure Land Way, I see that AMIDA's directing of virtue to sentient beings has two aspects, the aspect for our going forth to the Pure Land and the aspect for our return to this world. Now, how I understand Shinran's passage is that when our loved one dies, first, due to the power of the vow, due to AMIDA's directing of merit, we have assurance that they are completely liberated from all suffering. They become one with the Buddha and able to give guidance to others experiencing suffering. While their physical form may pass from this world, the true essence of our loved one continues to live on in enlightenment, and the activity of enlightenment is always present in our lives. Now, this aspect of return completes the Bodhisattva path in which our loved one comes back to this world of suffering to guide other beings, guiding others to see the truth of reality and enlightenment. AMIDA Buddha of great compassion showed us that it is not an end, but a spiritual continuation with the aspect of return. And this comes from the infinite compassion of AMIDA. With this assurance, we don't have to have fear. We don't have to have anxiety or grief or separation or disconnection. Our loved ones are always with us, embracing us through the working of NAMU AMIDA BUTSU. So how can we understand the aspect of return? Now, it's not a literal coming back. Our loved one doesn't come back as a direct being or a ghost or apparition of some sort, but they come back as the working of compassion or the working of the Buddha. You can think of it as a verb or activity. It can be expressed in many ways by things in nature, like the setting sun, a bright sunny day full of life, a rain-filled day nurturing the fields and the grass. It is a smell that reminds you of someone. They are your favorite foods of your childhood, like the takuan or kimpira gobo your obachan used to make. When someone close to you passes away, someone with whom you have close karmic relations and causes you to seek the Buddhist path, or someone moves you to encounter the Buddha Dharma, to come together in the Gejin at the New York Buddhist Church, our loved one becomes NAMU AMIDA BUTSU and returns to this world of suffering as the principle of universal oneness. As our teachers, our past Sangha members have always been supporting us. They are in our hearts and minds. They continue to guide us. It's a humbling understanding there are so many causes and conditions that have contributed to my path, and coming to the realization that AMIDA's unconditional vow embraces me and helps me understand my existence. Through AMIDA's light, I am reminded to see the other power surrounding me. They work as connections to awaken us to the truth of reality, to reflect on the impermanence of life, to awaken us to the meaning of life. Due to the power of the vow, due to AMIDA's directing of merit, our loved ones are reborn in the Pure Land and attain enlightenment and become a Buddha. AMIDA Buddha of great compassion showed us that it is not an end, but a spiritual continuation in the aspect of return. They are now Buddhas, and your relationship with them has not gone away. It has begun anew. So death does not mean the end of everything, not a separation or disconnection either. We continue to be connected spiritually. And this is the path that AMIDA Buddha prepared for us. It is the heart of NAMU AMIDA BUTSU. Our hearts are with our loved ones and are one with the Buddha's heart of great wisdom and compassion. During this time of reflection, during this Shotsuki service, we express our gratitude to our ancestors for the continued spiritual relationship and guidance they provide for us. The Sangha collectively comes together in love and support for this memorial service. And by doing so, we can recognize how our ancestors have brought us life. It can give us a great deal of comfort and joy in our life of NAMU AMIDA BUTSU. So I would like to close with a poem. I will reshare my screen once again. This poem was written by Reverend Chikai Nakanishi of Hawaii. and it's translated for me and for all of us today by Reverend Unikura Lai from our Twin Cities Sangha. So please join me in Gassho. Even if a person leaves, that person's smile remains. Even if a person leaves, their words remain. Even if a person leaves, they return to put our palms together and say, Namo Amida Butsu. Namo Amida Butsu, Namo Amida Butsu, Namo Amida Butsu, Namo Amida Butsu, Namo Amida Butsu. So thank you once again for inviting me to be a part of your Shotsuki service today, and for always continuing to spread the Dharma and to include us in the Twin Cities as well. Thank you.
So will everyone now please rise for our Gathas, which will be Seiya on page 226, followed by Nembutsu on page 169. Everyone, please be seated. Okay, so we've come to this part of our service where first we like to welcome any newcomers, first-time visitors. So if you're here for the first time, please stand and introduce yourself so that we can greet you, and let us know what brought you here today. Oh my goodness, we have quite a few folks. Are any of you all come together? Oh my. Okay, first let's have the two ladies in the back, because they arrived early on, and I'm sorry I didn't have a chance to greet you when you first came in. I was quite busy. So your names are? I'm sorry? Carly? Nicole, welcome. And what brought you to us today?
I'm taking a religion class in college, and we're like exploring all different types of religions.
Wonderful. So if you have any questions, be happy to answer them afterwards, after the service. Now we have a group of, let's see, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. So let's see. Oh, very good, Lily. So could you please just each give us your name so we can greet you properly?
Good morning, ma'am. Dustin Downing.
Good morning, Dustin.
Good morning, I'm Laura Lynn.
Welcome.
Angie.
Welcome.
Good morning, Chris.
Welcome.
Good morning, I'm Aaron.
Welcome.
Good morning, I'm Alexander.
Welcome. Okay, and what brought you to us today? Anyone?
We're part of a club at school, Asian Islander Pacific Club, and one of the members of it is a Buddhist, and he suggested that we come here today.
Wonderful. Well, again, I hope you enjoyed the service. If you have any questions, or if you have interest in our denomination of Buddhism, which is a stream of Mahayana, Pure Land Buddhism, called Jodo Shinshu, or True Pure Land in English, I can speak to you a little bit about that after service. And you can also, for you and for anyone else who's interested, you can look at our website, which is newyorkbuddhistchurch.org, and also the website of our parent organizations in the United States. That would be the Buddhist Churches of America. They have their own website. And in Japan, our mother temple is Nishi Honganji. And you can look that up, and that would be .jp. And there'd be a lot of information on there as well. So this gentleman is another first-timer.
Yes, hi. My name's Chris. I just came to learn a little bit more, educate myself a little bit, and experience this. So.
Wonderful, Chris.
Yeah,
We're glad that all of you could join us today. And we also, in the adjacent building, have the American Buddhist Study Center. And the American Buddhist Study Center was founded by Reverend Hosen Seki, who's also our founded minister, and his daughter runs that now. They have their own website with a lot of interesting materials and books that you can get from them. And we also have classes and discussion groups, and you can find more information about that on our website. And again, I don't have time to talk to all of you individually at great length, but perhaps we can all sit down after the service and I'll field some questions, okay? And this young lady.
Hi, my name's Tomiko. I just moved from Baltimore at the beginning of the month, and a lot of my family is Jodo Shinshu Buddhist, so I wanted to come.
Wonderful, Tomiko. Welcome, welcome. Well, we're so glad that all of you could join us today for our service. It makes it truly very special. When we look out, whoever's conducting the service, when we look out and see a sea of interested faces. So thank you very much for joining us today, and please be seated. And the same goes for anyone, whether you're a newcomer or an old-timer. You are what Shinran called Ondobo Ondogyo. We are one Sangha, we are fellow travelers, we are fellow practitioners. And as Reverend Todd said in his wonderful talk, we're all equal in the Sangha. We're all part of AMIDA's congregation. So thank you all for coming here on this rainy, gloomy day today. So I'd like to thank our greeters today, who are Ruth Funai and Hiroki Hasegawa. Thank you so much for your help today. Nobuko Kodama-san played piano. Thank you, Nobuko-san. And our tech team is manned by Carl Palma and David Brady. Thank you so very much, Shaka Shaka. Thank you so much, guys, for allowing the Sangha to enjoy the service by hearing clearly. And our virtual Sangha can also see us clearly. And we're really, really glad to be able to bring the Dharma to all of you. And I would also like to thank, with deep bows of gratitude, Reverend Todd Tsuchiya for delivering a wonderful Dharma talk. Reverend Todd, Gassho, in gratitude. I miss seeing you. I hope we can welcome you to New York Buddhist Church as your schedule allows and as the pandemic eases. We're grateful to anyone who can visit us, but as you all know, with the pandemic, it really has curtailed quite a lot. So we're really happy and grateful that vaccinations have become, and boosters have become available for everyone so that we can share the Dharma together as one family and not be concerned about harming anyone. So we will not, unfortunately, have any refreshments today after service, but we hope to return to our fellowship after service later this month. So hopefully, maybe even next week. So we will keep you posted. If you do receive our MailChimp messages, there will be probably be some referral, some reference to that in the next message. And, but if you'd like to communicate with us directly, you can email us, and that would be nybc332@gmail.com. Myself and my fellow ministers, Reverend Cheryl Joko Ikimiya and Reverend Gary Shobojaskula, we all look at the website, and we will receive your message and forward it to whoever it's most appropriate to receive it. So any questions or issues, please email us there. You can follow us on our website, which is NewYorkBuddhistChurch.org, as well as our Facebook page, which is facebook.com/NYBuddhistChurch. So, or you just go to facebook.com and type in New York Buddhist Church, and you'll get to our page. And we also maintain a video library at youtube.com/c/New York Buddhist Church, one word. If you go to our website, there is a page marked membership, and we really, really like to welcome any new members who want to join us. You'll find an application form, and on the membership page, more information about the benefits of being a member. Whether you're able to join us in person or virtually, we deeply appreciate your support. Your dana helps us in sharing these buildings, to maintain this facility, do other types of services for everyone. So thank you very much. There is a link for virtual contributions. You can share that with the church on PayPal. There's a link on our webpage. So next week is a regular service. So we'll be very, very happy to welcome you again. So Wednesday night, there is meditation with Reverend Gary and Reverend Cheryl. That runs from 7 to 8 every Wednesday evening. As of now, it is still virtual. We'll let you know when we can begin meeting in person again. There is also Japanese Hawakai, or discussion group. This is held in Japanese the first Thursday evening of every month. And Reverend Chinyami Onikura Blai, also of Twin Cities Sangha, leads that discussion, and many people come and join. If you speak Japanese, you may find that of interest. Reverend Cheryl Joko Ikimiya leads the Dharma Gathering on the first Saturday of each month. And that is a discussion on Shakyamuni Buddha's teaching. And Reverend Gary and I lead a twice-monthly Dharma chat, which is usually 2 Saturdays of each month. And we talk about Jodo Shinshu teachings in that discussion through reading articles by well-known, well-respected Shin teachers. So you're very welcome to join each of these, which as of now, again, are still virtual. And if you'd like a link, please contact us at nybc332@gmail.com, and you are welcome to join any of these services. Thank you. So that will end our service for today. Anyone who has not had the opportunity to do Oshoko, incense offering, is welcome to do so after the close of service. If you don't know how to do it, I or someone else will help you to learn how to offer incense and greet the Buddha properly. So that will end our service for today. Please join me in closing Gassho. Grateful are we for all those who have gone before us, without whom we would not be here today. Grateful are we for all those conditions that have enabled us to be together today, to say the honored name with one voice. Namo Amida Butsu. Namo Amida Butsu. Namo Amida Butsu. Namandap. Namandap.